Hello. Today we're going to carry on planning our persuasive texts. We're going to think about rhetorical questions, persuasive openers, and using conjunctions. Tomorrow, we're going to be writing a speech in support of or against the building of the new Mead Hall. So remember yesterday we made posters for a meeting. Well, we're going to write speeches that, if this was real, you would read at that meeting. So you need to decide for definite whether you are arguing for or against the Mead Hall. And you can't change your mind. I've seen this before where people have written these speeches and they change their mind in the middle of the speech. You need to be very careful. So you need to decide, do you want a Mead Hall or do you not want a Mead Hall? You need to make that decision. Right, have a think, pause the video, try and think of 5 points for building the Mead Hall and 5 points against. Whichever argument you're going to write about, you still need to know what the other side believe. So pause the video and have a think. Right, here are some that I came up with. So for, the old one's ruined. Against, the old one can be fixed. For, Beowulf needs it. Against, he can build it somewhere else. 3, it will impress visitors, but animals graze in that field. It will be useful for the community, but the children play in the field. It will create jobs. It will waste resources. So we've got different arguments for and against. You may well have different ones. That's absolutely fine. These are just the ones I thought of. So I've written an example speech. I want you to make a note of any persuasive sentence openers you can see. So do I begin the sentences in any way which is convincing or will help to convince the person listening? How have I used those? If you need to go back and listen to the speech again, then that's absolutely fine. So here's my speech. Your Royal Highness, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, may I thank you for attending our meeting today in the sadly dilapidated conditions of this festering old Mead Hall. As you will agree, it is most unfortunate that we must meet in these squalid conditions. For many years now, we have been in sore need of a new Mead Hall. None could argue that this hall in which we stand is nothing more than a rotten pile of sticks. Firstly, King Beowulf is a great king and powerful warrior who deserves a Mead Hall that reflects its character. Therefore, this hall must be built. He has led his great people, the people who stand before me at this meeting, to many triumphant victories. Would anyone deny such a man as this? A new Mead Hall would be but a small reward for his legendary deeds. Secondly, we are now a powerful nation, and important people travel from far and wide to visit our shores. Is it right that they should then be forced to drink and eat in this decaying pigsty? Obviously, those who come are disgusted by the state of the place, and I am not surprised. As a matter of fact, just the other day, Lord Hrognut of Denmark was telling me it took a week to get the smell of this old hall from his robes. We all know that a great king must entertain in a great hall, or risk being made the laughingstock of the world. Finally, this hall will be of great benefit to our people. Everybody knows that building projects create employment. Of course, the woodcutters will see more demand for wood, and builders must be employed for construction. While many say the loss of the field will mean nowhere for the children to play, the king has promised they'll be welcome in the hall. As for the lost grazing land, the king has promised a new grazing field just beyond those trees across the river behind the hill. Furthermore, as our land increases in reputation, so will the value of the animals. With all that in mind, I would defy anyone to try and tell me that this hall is a bad idea. So let's have a look at those openers. Hopefully you've made some notes. If not, go and listen to the speech again. Make some notes of those sentence openers. Here's a few that I picked out. None could argue. So I'm basically challenging the people who are listening to argue with me. I'm saying nobody can, forcing them to think that there's only one choice. As a matter of fact, using the word fact is always good. It makes people think, oh, well, it's a fact. Must be true. We all know. So people are thinking, oh, I didn't know. But they might be embarrassed. So, they've been told that they know. So they're going to imagine that they know. Obviously, again, making people think that this is the only choice there is. As you will agree. So I'm telling somebody that they're going to agree with me. They might not want to, but I'm kind of forcing them to. Right, if you look at the openness of the paragraphs that I wrote in there, they are related together. I've used things like firstly, secondly, finally, and so on. So I've used those time adjectives almost throughout the thing. Now, the other thing that you need to do is show that you understand how the other side feel. There's no point just arguing your point without accepting that other people think something different. And we can use sentences like this. While some people have said, I believe that, although the hall would, it would also, this field is great for, however, it will be better for. So how could we fill those gaps? I mean, I could say, while some people have said this mead hall is necessary, I believe we can repair the old one. Although the hall would create jobs and employment, it would also be a waste of our natural resources. The field is great for grazing animals. However, it will be better for a magnificent new mead hall. So there's lots of different ways you can use those sentences, or those templates, I suppose, to create sentences that show your understanding of the other side. In your books, pause the video and fill in the gaps in these sentences in your books. Then you can use them in your speech tomorrow. So as we mentioned, you're going to need an introduction, 3 points, and the conclusion. The conclusion is like the ending where you bring it all together. What are the 3 points you're going to make? Think about your best arguments for or against, whichever one you've chosen, building the mead hall. What's a rhetorical question? Can you use one of those in your writing? So remember, a rhetorical question is a question that doesn't really need an answer. Kind of like, who would disagree with me? That kind of thing. So we're going to use this to do your plan. You may need to pause this video to have a look at the different subheadings that I want for the sections of your plan. Remember, in a plan, it's just in note form. You don't have to write out the whole speech, but you need your ideas together for when you write your speech tomorrow. So the top part of your plan, your introduction, says, why are you writing? Who are you? What is your point? So there you're going to make it clear which side of the argument you're on. Point 2. You need a sentence with a persuasive opener, talking about your point, a rhetorical question, a sentence with a connective in it. So that's those although questions that we've been talking about, those however questions. Your second paragraph, again, persuasive openers, a rhetorical question, and another sentence with a connective in it, conjunction in it. And finally, a sentence with another persuasive opener, another rhetorical question, and another conjunction. And then at the end, you need your conclusion, which kind of wraps up your argument, which brings all your ideas together. So if you're not sure what to put, maybe again, go back and have a listen to my speech, see if that helps. And then pause on this page and use that to finish your plan. And I'll see you tomorrow.